Hello and welcome to the Brian Booster YouTube channel. Today we're discussing the fascinating country of Zambia. For those who may not be familiar, Zambia is located in southern Africa, and it is known for its diverse culture, rich history, and stunning natural beauty. In this podcast, we will be exploring all aspects of Zambia, from its history to its economy, culture, and politics. We hope you will stay with us until the end of the podcast to learn more about this amazing country. Let's begin. Zambia is a landlocked country located in southern Africa. It is bordered by Angola to the west, the Democratic Republic of Congo to the north, Tanzania to the northeast, Malawi to the east, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Botswana and Namibia to the south, and the Caprivi Strip of Namibia to the southwest. The official currency of Zambia is the Zambian kwacha. The capital of Zambia is Lusaka, which is also the country's largest city. The population of Zambia is around 18.4 million people, and it is a diverse country made up of over 80 ethnic groups, with the majority of the population being of Bantu origin. The official language is English, and it's widely spoken, but there are also over 70 local languages spoken throughout the country. The pre-colonial history of Zambia can be traced back to at least 100,000 years ago, with evidence of human habitation in the region. The area was home to various tribes, including the Bantu-speaking tribes that form the basis of modern Zambian society. These tribes had complex societies and economies, with trade and political connections that extended beyond present-day Zambia. During the colonial period, beginning in the late 19th century, the territory of present-day Zambia was colonized by the British South Africa Company and later the British government. The colonizers brought new technologies, religious beliefs, and political systems that fundamentally changed the way of life for the local people. The colony of Northern Rhodesia, as it was known, was initially focused on the extraction of mineral resources, such as copper, but over time it also became an important source of labor for the mines and other industries. In 1964, Northern Rhodesia gained independence from British rule, and was renamed Zambia. Since then, the country has been led by a number of different leaders, some of whom have been more successful than others in addressing the challenges facing the country. However, despite these challenges, Zambia has managed to maintain its independence and establish itself as a stable democracy in southern Africa. Geographically, Zambia is a land of diversity. It is home to several major rivers, including the Zambezi, which forms the border with Zimbabwe and Mozambique, and the Kafue and Lilongwe, which drain into the Zambezi. The country also boasts several large lakes, including Lake Tanganyika and Lake Mweru. The country's highest point is Mafinga Hill, which is located in the Mafinga Hills, and rises to a height of 2,339 meters. The country is also home to several national parks and wildlife reserves, including the famous South Lilongwe National Park, which is known for its large populations of elephants, lions, and other big game. Climate-wise, Zambia has a tropical climate, with a rainy season that runs from November to April, and a dry season that runs from May to October. The country experiences high temperatures and humidity throughout the year, with temperatures often reaching 30 degrees Celsius or higher. However, the country's high elevation provides relief from the heat, especially in the plateaus and mountains regions. The average annual rainfall varies between regions, with the northwest receiving the most rainfall, while the southwest receives the least. Overall, the geography and climate of Zambia are diverse and varied, providing unique opportunities for tourism, agriculture, and other industries. From the lush rainforests of the north to the dry savannas of the south, and from the rugged mountains of the east to the vast plains of the west, Zambia is truly a land of contrasts and diversity. Traditional customs and beliefs play a significant role in Zambian culture. The country is home to over 80 ethnic groups, each with their own unique customs and beliefs. Some of the most important traditional customs in Zambia include marriage customs, rituals, and festivals. Marriage customs vary among the different ethnic groups in Zambia. In some tribes, marriage is arranged by the parents, while in others, the couple chooses their own partner. In some communities, the bride price, which is a payment made by the groom's family to the bride's family, is still practiced. The ceremony itself also varies among the different ethnic groups, with some communities performing elaborate rituals and others having more simple ceremonies. Rituals are an important part of traditional customs in Zambia. Many ethnic groups have rituals for important life events such as birth, puberty, marriage, and death. These rituals often involve the use of traditional medicine, prayers and offerings to ancestors and other spiritual entities. Festivals also play an important role in Zambian culture. Many ethnic groups have annual festivals that are held to mark important events in the agricultural calendar, such as the harvest, or to commemorate important historical events. These festivals often involve music, dance, and other cultural performances, as well as feasting and other social activities. Overall, traditional customs and beliefs are an integral part of Zambian culture, and they continue to shape the lives of the people today. These customs and beliefs are passed down from generation to generation and play a significant role in shaping the identity and culture of the people of Zambia. Music and dance are an integral part of Zambian culture, and they play a significant role in the daily lives of the people. Traditional music in Zambia is characterized by the use of drums and other instruments, such as the thumb piano, and by its strong connection to dance. Drums are an important traditional instrument in Zambia, and they are used in many different types of music, including traditional and contemporary music. Many ethnic groups have their own unique drumming styles and rhythms, which are passed down from generation to generation. The thumb piano, also known as the bira, is another traditional instrument that is commonly found in Zambia. It is a type of plucked idiophone that consists of a wooden board with metal keys attached to it. The instrument is played by plucking the keys with the thumbs, and it is often used in traditional music and ceremonies. Dance is also an important part of traditional music in Zambia. Many ethnic groups have their own unique dance styles, which are often performed to traditional music. Dance is an important way of expressing emotions and socializing, and it is an important part of many traditional ceremonies and festivals. The significance of music and dance in Zambian culture cannot be understated. It's not only an important way of preserving cultural heritage, but it also serves as a means of communication and expression for the people. It also plays a role in socializing, bonding, and celebrating important events. Traditional music and dance continue to be an important part of daily life in Zambia and are passed down from generation to generation, keeping alive the rich culture of the country. Art plays an important role in Zambian culture, and it is a reflection of the country's rich history and diverse traditions. Traditional art forms in Zambia include pottery, textiles, and sculpture. Pottery is an ancient art form in Zambia, and it is still widely practiced today. Many ethnic groups have their own unique pottery styles and techniques, which are passed down from generation to generation. Pottery is used for both practical and ceremonial purposes, and it is an important part of many traditional customs and beliefs. Textiles are also an important traditional art form in Zambia. Many ethnic groups have their own unique weaving styles and patterns, and textiles are used for both practical and ceremonial purposes. Textiles are used to make clothing, blankets, and other items, and they are also used in traditional rituals and ceremonies. Sculpture is another traditional art form in Zambia. Many ethnic groups have their own unique sculpture styles, which are used to depict traditional beliefs and customs. Sculptures are used in traditional rituals and ceremonies, and they are also used to tell stories and convey important messages. The traditional art of Zambia not only serves as a means of expression, but it also plays an important role in preserving cultural heritage and identity. It's an important way for people to connect with their past and to understand their place in the world. Traditional art forms are also an important part of the tourism industry in Zambia, and it's a way for visitors to gain an understanding and appreciation of the country's rich culture and history. Modern culture has had a significant impact on Zambian culture and vice versa. Globalization and urbanization have brought new technologies, ideas, and customs to the country, which have influenced traditional customs and art forms. One of the most notable ways that modern culture has influenced Zambian culture is through the introduction of new technologies and media. With the rise of television, radio, and the internet, traditional art forms such as music and dance have been adapted to incorporate modern elements. The influence of global popular culture can be seen in the music and fashion of Zambia, as well as in the influence of Western art on traditional art forms. Urbanization has also had an impact on Zambian culture. As more people move from rural areas to urban centers, traditional customs and art forms are often left behind. Urbanization has led to the erosion of traditional customs and art forms in many ethnic groups, as traditional practices are often replaced by more modern ones. However, it's important to note that Zambian culture has also been able to influence modern culture. For example, traditional music and dance styles have been embraced by urban youth and have been incorporated into modern music and dance styles. Additionally, traditional art forms such as pottery, textiles, and sculpture are being appreciated worldwide. Overall, the impact of modern culture on Zambian culture has been complex, and both traditional and modern elements continue to interact and shape each other. While some traditional customs and art forms have been lost, others have been adapted and continue to thrive in the modern world. Preserving and promoting traditional culture is an important issue in Zambia, and there are various efforts in place to ensure that traditional customs and art forms are passed down to future generations. One of the key ways that traditional culture is preserved in Zambia is through the use of museums and cultural centers. These institutions often have collections of traditional art and artifacts, as well as information about traditional customs and practices. They also host exhibitions and educational programs that help to promote traditional culture and make it accessible to a wider audience. Another way that traditional culture is preserved in Zambia is through the work of government and non-governmental organizations. Government organizations such as the Ministry of Arts and Culture and non-governmental organizations such as the National Heritage Conservation Commission play an important role in preserving traditional culture. They provide funding for research and support for traditional artists and artisans. Additionally, they also work to promote traditional culture through the development of cultural heritage sites and the organization of cultural events. There are also many private initiatives aimed to preserve traditional culture, such as cultural tourism, where traditional customs and art forms are promoted to visitors. Many artists, artisans, and musicians are also working to promote their traditional practices, and they are working to make them more accessible to the public. Overall, preserving traditional culture in Zambia is a collective effort that involves the government, non-governmental organizations, cultural institutions, and individuals working together. These efforts include the preservation and promotion of traditional art forms, such as pottery, textiles, and sculpture, as well as traditional customs and practices. Through these efforts, traditional culture is not only being preserved but also being made accessible to a wider audience, ensuring that future generations can continue to appreciate and learn from the rich cultural heritage of Zambia. In Zambia, like in many other countries, preserving traditional culture is a challenge. The process of modernization has brought about many changes in the society, and it has also led to the erosion of traditional customs and beliefs. For example, as people move from rural areas to urban centers, traditional customs and art forms are often left behind. Urbanization has led to the erosion of traditional customs and art forms in many ethnic groups, as traditional practices are often replaced by more modern ones. Another challenge that traditional culture faces in Zambia is the economic development, which can impact the traditional way of life and the preservation of traditional customs. Economic development can lead to the displacement of communities, loss of resources, and cultural erasure. This can be seen in the case of tourism, which can lead to the displacement of communities, loss of resources, and cultural erasure. The third challenge is the erosion of traditional customs and beliefs. As the younger generation is exposed to new cultural influences, they are less likely to continue traditional practices. The erosion of traditional customs and beliefs can lead to the loss of cultural heritage and identity. Overall, preserving traditional culture in Zambia is a challenge, but it is also essential to maintain the country's rich cultural heritage and identity. Efforts need to be made to ensure that traditional customs and art forms are passed down to future generations, and that traditional culture is not lost as the country continues to modernize and develop. Zambia is a multi-party democratic republic. The president is the head of state and government and is elected by popular vote for a 5-year term. The president has the power to appoint the vice president and cabinet members, who together form the government. The country's parliament is made up of the National Assembly and the Senate, and members are elected by popular vote for 5-year terms. The current president of Zambia is Edgar Lungu, who has been in office since 2015. He is a member of the Patriotic Front, PF, which is the ruling political party in the country. The PF was founded in 2001 and is a center-left party. The main opposition party in the country is the United Party for National Development, UPND, which is a center-left party that was founded in 1998. Zambia has a relatively stable political environment, with peaceful transitions of power between different political parties. However, there have been concerns about the erosion of democratic institutions and human rights in the country. The government has been criticized for restricting freedom of speech, press, and assembly, as well as for corruption and mismanagement of public resources. Overall, the political landscape of Zambia is a multi-party democracy with peaceful transitions of power, but with concerns about the erosion of democratic institutions and human rights. The ruling party Patriotic Front, PF, and the main opposition party United Party for National Development, UPND, are the main political forces in the country. However, there are also other smaller parties and independent candidates that participate in the political process. The country's political stability has been relatively consistent with peaceful transitions of power. However, there have been concerns about the erosion of democratic institutions and human rights in the country. It's important to monitor the political situation and the government's actions to ensure that the democratic process is respected and that the rights of citizens are protected. Zambia's economy is based on the exploitation of its natural resources, including copper, cobalt, zinc, lead, and gold. The mining sector is the largest contributor to the country's GDP and is the main source of foreign exchange earnings. Copper mining is the most important sector, and it accounts for over 70% of the country's export earnings. The mining sector also employs a significant number of people, both directly and indirectly. Agriculture is another important sector in Zambia's economy, and it accounts for about 12% of GDP. The main crops grown in the country are corn, sorghum, rice, and cassava. Additionally, Zambia is a significant producer of tobacco, cotton, and sugar. The manufacturing sector in Zambia is relatively small, and it accounts for about 8% of GDP. The main industries are food and beverage processing, textiles, and wood products. The service sector, including tourism, is also an important part of the economy, and it accounts for about 10% of GDP. The country has a wide range of tourist attractions, including national parks and wildlife reserves, cultural heritage sites, and adventure tourism. Overall, the economy of Zambia is heavily dependent on the mining sector, which is vulnerable to fluctuations in global commodity prices, and the agriculture sector. The country is also facing challenges such as high unemployment, poverty, and a lack of infrastructure and social services. Despite these challenges, there are efforts made by the government and other organizations to diversify the economy, to improve infrastructure and social services, and to create more job opportunities. In this segment, we will be discussing the popular tourist attractions found in the country, specifically in Victoria Falls and the surrounding areas. Victoria Falls is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Zambia and is located on the Zambezi River, on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. The falls are considered to be one of the 7 natural wonders of the world and are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The history of Victoria Falls dates back to the 11th century when the local tribes knew of the falls, but the first European to see the falls was Dr. David Livingstone in 1855 and named it after Queen Victoria. The falls are known for their spectacular views, which include a wide range of colors and patterns, depending on the time of year and the water level. The falls are also known for their thunderous roar, which can be heard from miles away. The significance of Victoria Falls is not only in its natural beauty, but also in its importance for the local communities and for the country's economy. The falls are a major tourist attraction and are responsible for a significant amount of the country's tourism revenue. Additionally, the falls and the surrounding area are home to a diverse range of wildlife, including elephants, hippos, crocodiles, and a wide range of bird species. Visitors can enjoy various activities such as boat rides, helicopter rides, bungee jumping, and whitewater rafting, which provide them with different perspectives of the falls. The falls are also a popular destination for adventure tourism, with activities such as whitewater rafting, bungee jumping, and riverboarding available in the area. Overall, Victoria Falls is a must-see destination for any traveler visiting Zambia. Its natural beauty, history, and significance make it one of the most popular tourist attractions in the country, and it provides visitors with a unique and unforgettable experience. National parks and wildlife reserves in Zambia are a must-see for nature lovers and wildlife enthusiasts. The country has a variety of national parks and wildlife reserves that offer visitors the opportunity to experience the country's diverse wildlife and natural beauty. One of the most popular national parks in Zambia is South Luangwa National Park. It is located in the eastern province and known for its large population of elephants, lions, leopards, and other big cats. Visitors can take game drives and walking safaris to see the wildlife, as well as river safaris to see the park's diverse bird life. Another popular destination for nature lovers is Lower Zambezi National Park. Located on the banks of the Zambezi River, this park offers visitors the opportunity to see elephants, hippos, crocodiles, and other wildlife while on a boat safari, canoeing, or simply fishing. Kafue National Park is another place to visit as it is the largest national park in Zambia and home to a wide variety of wildlife, including lions, leopards, cheetahs, and wild dogs. Visitors can take game drives, walking safaris, and boat safaris to see the park's wildlife. These are just a few examples of the many national parks and wildlife reserves in Zambia that offer visitors the chance to experience the country's unique wildlife and natural beauty. Whether you're interested in big game or bird watching, there is something for everyone to enjoy in Zambia's national parks and wildlife reserves. Cultural heritage sites in Zambia are a great way to learn about the country's rich cultural heritage and history. One of the most popular cultural heritage sites is the Livingstone Museum, located in Livingstone. The museum is dedicated to the history and culture of the region and features exhibits on the natural history, archaeology, and ethnography of the area. It also has a collection of artifacts, manuscripts, and photographs that showcase the history of the region. Another important cultural heritage site is the Mukuni Village. It is a traditional village located in the southern province of Zambia. The village is home to the Lea people, one of the many ethnic groups in Zambia, and visitors can learn about the traditional customs and practices of the Lea people and see traditional architecture, dances, and rituals. The Maramba Cultural Village is another interesting place to visit. It is a traditional village located in Livingstone and it offers visitors the opportunity to learn about the culture of the Tonga people. Visitors can see traditional dances, music, and crafts and also taste traditional food. The cultural heritage sites in Zambia are significant for preserving the country's cultural heritage and for educating visitors about the country's rich cultural heritage. These sites offer visitors the opportunity to learn about traditional customs, practices, and architecture of the different ethnic groups in Zambia, as well as about the country's history and culture. Adventure tourism in Zambia is a great way to experience the country's natural beauty and wildlife. One of the most popular adventure activities in Zambia is safari, which is available in many national parks and wildlife reserves. Visitors can take game drives and walking safaris to see the country's diverse wildlife, including elephants, lions, leopards, and other big cats. The South Luangwa National Park and Lower Zambezi National Park are popular destinations for safari. Another popular adventure activity in Zambia is hiking. The country has many trails that offer visitors the opportunity to explore the natural beauty of the country. The Mosi-oa-Tunya National Park and the Lusaka National Park are popular destinations for hiking. The trails offer stunning views of the country's natural beauty, including waterfalls and rivers. Whitewater rafting is also a popular adventure activity in Zambia. The Zambezi River is one of the most popular destinations for whitewater rafting, with rapids ranging from mild to challenging. The river also offers visitors the opportunity to see wildlife, including elephants, hippos, and crocodiles. Overall, adventure tourism in Zambia offers visitors the opportunity to experience the country's natural beauty and wildlife. Visitors can choose from a wide range of activities, including safari, hiking, and whitewater rafting, and can expect to have a unique and unforgettable experience. When planning a trip to Zambia, it's important to take into consideration visa requirements, currency, transportation, and accommodations. Visitors from most countries will need a visa to enter Zambia. It is advisable to check the requirements and apply for a visa before your trip. Currency in Zambia is the Zambian kwacha, and it's important to have cash on hand as some places may not accept credit or debit cards. It's also a good idea to have some US dollars as a backup. Transportation in Zambia can be challenging. It's recommended to hire a car with a driver or use public transportation. Taxis are also available in major cities, but it's best to negotiate the fare before getting in the car. Accommodations in Zambia range from luxury resorts to budget-friendly options. It's best to book in advance, especially during peak tourist season. Safety is an important concern when traveling to Zambia. It's recommended to avoid walking alone at night and be aware of your surroundings, especially in crowded areas. It's also important to be aware of health concerns such as malaria, and to take necessary precautions, such as using mosquito repellent and sleeping under a mosquito net. The best time to visit Zambia is during the dry season, which runs from May to October. The weather is milder and the wildlife is easier to spot. It's important to keep in mind that the peak tourist season is during these months, so it's best to book accommodations and activities in advance. In conclusion, we've discussed the various aspects of Zambia, from its history and culture, to its economy and tourism. We've highlighted some of the country's most popular tourist attractions, including Victoria Falls, national parks, and cultural heritage sites. We've also provided practical advice for travelers visiting Zambia, including information about visa requirements, currency, transportation, and accommodations. We hope that you've enjoyed this podcast and that you've learned something new about Zambia. We would like to thank you for tuning in, and we encourage you to subscribe to our channel to watch our other podcasts.